here at the Dalby Stock Horse Sale, and we're in the memorial tent, 1974 to 2024, 50 years. Catching up with George White here. George, you got a little bit of a tale to tell, but you were actually here for the first sale.
Yeah, I bought the top priced horse in 1974. He was sold by Theo Hill, by Abbey, and we took the horse home. I'd been working in Charters Towers as a manager of Pajingo and left with a job and got home with a horse and no money in my pocket and no job. And that was the bottom of the cattle market crash, and it changed everything in Queensland in the cattle industry.
So was it good timing or bad timing? Does the story end up being a good story at the end?
Terrible.
But don't worry about that. We're trying to be positive selling sales. Right, 1974, what was the sale topper?
$2,400 by memory. I don't think it was 2.5. I think it was 2,400.
Just under the 2.5.
Yes.
What sort of horse was he?
He was a thoroughbred type by Abbey.
Yeah.
And Abbeys weren't well known in the north. They were well known in New South Wales, and the reason we went to buy an Abbey is the Hoofs and Horns magazine had run a few articles in the year, and the first 6 places at 2 drafts were won by Abbeys. So
you saw the opportunity.
So we done some quizzing and got in touch with Theo Hill, and then found out he had 2 colts here for sale, unbroken. And we went down to his place at Spring Hill and inspected them and decided on one of them and then come to the sale and bought it.
Unbroken, that's a little bit unusual now, isn't it? For this?
Well, the early sales, there was probably only 20% ridden.
Yep.
A lot of mares that come back year in, year out, not in foal, and just been served, and they got that out, and that cleaned the sale up a lot.
Yep.
There's a lot of history about this sale. There's been a lot of good work done about it.
Yeah, that's actually a little. So that's a way people were trying to offload mares. They couldn't get in foal. They said, just been served, it's in foal, ready to go, but they weren't. So
good looking mares that weren't really performed well. They'd turn up here 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then no foal, But it's been a massive, the changes here. The first sale is a little wooden grandstand.
Just over the other side there by sounds.
Yeah, just about where that indoor arena is.
Yep.
And the horses were sold between the wooden grandstand and the single rail arena fence.
Yep.
And the auctioneers were on the inside of the ring.
Yeah. How many horses did they sell that first year? Do you remember? Like, I don't want to throw you under the bus, but
I'd be surprised if there was more than 50.
Yep. Was there a lot of people?
Oh yes. So the grandstand was full, but the grandstand only held 50 or 60 people. But they were standing 6 deep around the outsides. Oh yeah, you had to push to get up if you wanted to bid.
Yep, and there was competitive bidding. Like was there a lot of tyre kickers, or was there a lot of people here to buy?
A few horses that were very vigorous bidding.
Yep.
But a lot of the other stuff was a bit hard to shift.
Did it surprise you that you had to go so high? Like I imagine that would have been high in the day.
It was high in the day. Well, it was a top priced horse on the sale, but not. With the research that we done in the 6 months prior to the sale, it took us a while to make up our mind to spend that money, because I was only a wage earner working on a station, and you don't have a lot of money in your pocket in those days.
Yep.
And it was a fair bit of money for us, but it was just a gamble by us. The decision to buy the horse was correct. To get home and find out I never had a job really took the wind out of the sails.
Yeah, and then the cattle market crashing as well, so wasn't like you're going to be able to find another job straight away either.
We knew the cattle marketing was crashing because it crashed all year. October was the real bottom of it, but I was told before I left to go. I'd been there 2 years and never taken holidays, and he suggested I take holidays, and it fitted in with the sale and what we'd already found out in the previous 6 months. So we were very keen coming down here. But then the real disappointment is as soon as I got home, he told he'd made up his decision while I was away to close the gates, and that's what he did.
So what did you do with your horse? What was his name?
Kamara Cossack.
Yep.
And my wife's parents had property and cattle, and they was pretty substantial. He couldn't afford to pay wages, so she went home and was a ringer, and she always wanted the horse. And so I wasn't going to argue. I let her take the horse.
Yep.
I finished up in Roma driving a wheat truck.
That's what you did back in those days, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I've never been out of work in my life. I've done a lot of things, but you only do it until you get an opportunity that suits you.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of enjoyment out of horses, especially stock horses, and I've had a lot of enjoyment out of camp drafting. I'm not in the top 10%, but I've enjoyed it.
Did you draft him at all?
No, I broke him in and had him ready to draft, and then that's when he went back up there. And that was an agreement between Rhonda and I.
Yeah. So you never got to draft him, and she didn't draft him, so he just was a working horse for the rest of his life?
A few people tried to draft him, but at that stage then, there wasn't a lot of polished horsemen in the country then. It was early days.
Yeah.
Susan Salmon changed the horsemanship in the north.
Yeah.
She was just out of the box. She was just brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years have you been coming back? Like, how many times have you come back to this sale?
I haven't been at every sale, but I come to a lot. I was livestock manager at Darwin feedlot for 5 years, 88 to 93, so I was involved with the committee and the working bees and everything here. I sold the top price gelding here in 93, probably 94 or 95. We've educated kids out of selling horses here. It's been a really good place to sell horses. It's been good to us.
Yep.
A couple of the sales were extremely wet where you're riding around in knee-deep mud. That wasn't very promising.
It was good to no one.
There's been some disasters here, like with the weather. You can get very violent weather here at this time of year.
Yeah, well, but at the same time you can get good weather like what it is here. I mean, it's warm, but if you're out of the sun, it's fine.
Oh, this is perfect today. Yeah. You don't get it better.
It's on the southern, be careful. You've seen it evolve and change.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like the direction it's heading?
Oh, yeah. I've stopped drafting last year. Went up, COVID come along, didn't get too many drafts, went up north, found little cattle, didn't like chasing little cattle, so I've given up drafting.
Yeah.
But, I'll know more in a couple of days' time after I've watched it.
Are you going to buy it?
Oh, no, I've got it.
You can't say no. David and them are watching. You've got to say, yeah, I'll think about it. I've registered.
Different phase of my life now.
Imagine that. Imagine buying the sale topper 50 years after buying the first one. Now, there's a nice challenge for you.
There's not enough money in my bank, mate.
You talk to my people. We might be able, you never know what we can work out.
No, it's been to a lot of agents. Primac first. Only did what they were pushed into doing, then Elders, and then probably a couple of others, Grant Allian Long, and now it's Ray White.
Yep, they're doing a great job.
Well, I haven't been involved in the last couple of years because I've moved away. I live in Charters Towers again now, and that's where I was living when I bought the horse.
Yeah.
So,
So it only fits to buy the top sale lot tomorrow? Saturday.
I don't think I have enough profile or a good bank manager.
What about this memorial here? It must bring back some great memories for you.
Well, I've only just got through it, and Ricky Young come and found me, and I was just going to have a sticky beak, and I think it's well done, and thank you whoever done it. Yeah. Very, very, very good.
Yeah, I was a volunteer of love too, so I think that's, people need to come here and respect it, have a look at it, and learn about the past. That's the only way we can go forward, when you learn from the past, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah.
Thank you. Really loved it. 50 years, celebration of 50 years. There's two people that have been here. One gentleman's been here the whole time, but you've been here as well. So I think that's great, and so many other people as well. So thanks for giving me a bit of time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for what you did.
Thanks, mate.